telling the players we don't talk about contracts around here. Matthew Judon takes 9 minutes after practice yesterday. I don't want to say belly aching because I don't think he really did anything that was. There's nothing really bad that he said, and I thought he was pretty open about it. But anyway, as Ben Volen writes, he called an impromptu media session, so he wasn't even scheduled to talk to the media. Like, they have certain guys set aside every day, like on a schedule. So-and-so will be addressing the media after practice. He wasn't on that list, and he did it himself. He said, Volen writes, Judon called an impromptu media session after practice, and for nearly 9 minutes was an open book about his dissatisfaction with his contract. Murray, your thoughts?
I mean, I just think this is the clearest sign of change between the Mayo regime and Belichick's. That never would have happened a year ago under Bill because Belichick always ran the operation like North Korea. No info in, no info out from any of the players. And now yesterday, Judon stands there yammering on for like 9 minutes about his contract. And I said yesterday, on the one hand, I kind of commend him. It takes balls. And on the other, though, is it now, this is what it is? It's just a free-for-all down there? It's going to be smiles, grab ass, and open griping to the media if you're not happy about your contract because he's one of the have-nots while the rest of the team feels like haves. So, I'm sorry. I said before, they should trade him. He missed 14 games last year. To me, he's on the wrong side of 30. He's going to be 32, kind of old in the league for his particular position. He disappears every single December since he's been here. So instead of coming out ready, he comes out whining. You signed the deal you signed. Now you want more. What did you do to deserve more when you missed 14 games last year? So they should trade him.
So I'll tell you what, as far as the fact that he spoke up goes, I'm not sure I hate it yet. Like, part of me wonders, I'm willing to give it a little bit of rope on this, because I think with Bill, the opposite kind of happened. Like, because you weren't able to talk about it, they sort of festered, and then oftentimes they became bigger issues, and you knew they were going on, and guys were talking off the record, and it became kind of a stink bomb. If Mayo is able to say to him, hey, look, you want to address it once at the beginning of camp, go ahead, just don't make it an issue, get it out of the way, and then we get to work. If that's the approach, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying I'm willing to wait. It might be better for them.
Yeah, it might be. Some of this was needed, definitely. It's Bill really, when it came to what was said, he was such a puss, and it had nothing to do with helping his team win games. And I know that's the way it was presented for like 20 years, and it was just such a myth, such a fallacy that Bill did that because he felt it gave him a better chance to win games. And maybe part of him did feel it, but the reason he did it more than anything is that he's sensitive, and he doesn't have to deal with media fallout, and in some respects he's really thin-skinned. In some respects he can handle it, in some respects he can't. He doesn't want to hear his players talking about their contracts in the newspaper because he's not comfortable with it. I very rarely did it impact competitively. So, letting Matthew Judon go in and just speak his truth, and he's not taking anyone down, and he's not taking anyone on, and he's not insulting anyone, and I don't think he's doing anything divisive there. He's just, telling you how he feels. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I am leery, though, when we have these transitions, and it happens in all the sports, when you go from a hard-ass coach to a player's coach. I just feel like it just doesn't work. Like, the Bruins have it, not to cross sports, but from Cassidy to Montgomery. It's like, I'm just not comfortable with it. It just seems too easy. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, it feels to me like it doesn't work in the long run, or maybe even the short run. And we're really in the middle of it. The Mike Reese thing we played you before, but the atmosphere is different, and the tone is different, and guys aren't looking over their shoulder, and they, aren't worried about what they say, which in one respect they had to get out of. I agree. But, where we really headed. And as Volen writes, after 24 years of being ruled by Belichick's iron fist, the Patriots are trying to create a softer, friendlier atmosphere. Mayo is a 38-year-old former player whose greatest strength may be relating to guys in the locker room. Wolf has tried to create, quote, more of an open, less hard-ass type of vibe in the building, as he said in February. And after years of stingingly letting his players walk, the Patriots have rewarded 10 key players from last year's team with new contracts this offseason. But now Mayo and Wolf are seeing the downside. to the player-friendly approach. Judon had no problem airing some of his dirty laundry yesterday. Just like defensive tackle Devon Gottschall didn't seem too worried about calling up the Patriots on Twitter or X last month over his own contract dispute. So let's just see how that all plays out. He's got to be careful about being too much of a transition from Bill Belichick and too much of a transition from an exacting coach. It should be exacting. It's hard. Football's hard. So that you've got to be exacting.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Maz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.